Bill O'Reilly here. B.Currier's been busy traveling around the state pressing the flesh and schmoozing with county delegates. So I put my best producer Jesse Waters on the case to track him down. Hello Bill. Jesse finally caught up with you. You're a hard man to pin down. Thanks for giving us a few minutes of your time.
You're welcome, Bill. Yeah, I'm a busy guy.
We've heard rumors that you're running from your record.
Mr. O. My record is totally intact. Just ask Chris Barreto. She keeps all the records in tip-top shape.
Well, that's not what Jesse found out. But let's get back to your record. We found out you were on the Permanent Committee on Congressional District Conventions back in March 2013 to get prepared for the 2016 conventions. What have you done there?
Oh, that kind of fizzled out.
But it was a permanent committee, wasn't it?
Not really.
So, during the last 2 years have you done anything to get prepared for the conventions next year?
Could we switch subjects, Mr. O? I'll get back to you on that. Promise.
So, you're a technology guru and the party needs to do a lot better on technology.
I make a living on technology.
So what accomplishments in that area?
Vibe. That's a collaboration software system.
That puzzled Jesse when he was doing background. He found a mention here or there, but nothing else.
We did training on it.
Can you give us some stats? How many people using it? What has been streamlined? Anything?
Let me get back to you on that.
Okay. Merlin. That's another project you're involved in. Has that taken off?
Well, we had big plans, but things just didn't quite work out.
Any other technology successes?
Can we move on, please?
Okay. Enough about the past. Let's talk about the future.
Thanks.
So, you're doing an autopsy on the 2014 elections, I see. Do you have a report?
No. We don't do reports. We just talked with a few people and called it an autopsy.
Was that the autopsy approved by the executive committee?
No, we just did it on our own.
So what did the autopsy find?
We lost every statewide race and lost 3 or 4 seats in the legislature.
So was it 3 or 4?
Is this a Common Core math question?
I'll move on. And you're talking to donors?
Yeah. Big time.
And was that approved by the executive committee?
No, we did it on our own.
Can you drop any names? Who have you talked to?
The donor list is all top secret.
Don't you have to report big donor names to the state and the feds?
That's right, I think. I remember we had that big deal about FEC rules last year. But it's still top secret. We don't want anybody in the party to know who the big donors are.
So, you and your team are going out and doing all kinds of things. And don't need approval from anybody, right?
That's right.
So how much money have you raised in the last 4 months since the election?
Well, we've just talked to donors, not raised money.
But the party has been bankrupt for nearly 2 years. And you say you don't need approval. What stopped you from talking to donors for the last 2 years?
You need to talk to Ken Taylor about that. He's up on all the fundraising stuff.
So, you haven't actually raised any money?
Not yet.
But as soon as you're elected, the money will start pouring in on March 1st.
It doesn't work that way, Mr. O. We've got to make plans and show the donors how their money is going to win elections first.
Hasn't your team been talking about a turnaround plan?
Well, that's still on the drawing board. We have to get it approved and all.
Now I'm confused. You do all this stuff without approval, but then you've got to get approval.
Right, Mr. O. We've got rules we have to follow.
And you're also talking about your calendar of events that will bring in well-known speakers. When's your first event?
Nothing scheduled. We need approval for that too, Mr. O.
So I guess you can't say who the speakers are either, then.
No, that's hush-hush too. We don't want to spoil the surprise.
But you got the contract signed, right?
No, we need approval for that too.
You know I always end my show with the spin stops here. Is there anything that you're doing now that you could have done over the last 2 years?
No, not really. We can talk a good game anytime we want. It's kind of an art, no pun intended.
Well, I've got to end here and stop this spin. Good night, folks.
But Mr. O, You haven't asked about how we're going to get Republicans elected.
Tell you what, Bill. If I'm still on the air when that happens, give Jesse a call.